In less than a week, the roofs there are telling work will be done. Next Monday, 2 giant sculptures totaling 30 tons will be raised on the Brockport State campus, site of the Games. The bronze and copper works symbolize the idea behind the Special Olympics. One is a tribute to children and their games around the world. The other depicts the Greek god Prometheus atop the Tree of Knowledge. They are both gifts to the U.S. from the prize-winning Russian artist.
The pieces symbolize the sports for the children that will take place during the International Special Olympics. And it is for their health and growth that it will make them strong in both mind and body.
The Brockport Games are 2 weeks away. How do you feel about that?
I feel it's fantastic because other people are going to know about Brockport for once.
From the mouth of babes come the feeling of most residents in Brockport. Downtown, signs of the Olympic Games abound. Business and tourism is expected to be like nothing ever witnessed here before, with restaurants and hotels taking the bulk of the business. About 150,000 people are estimated to attend the Special Olympics by the end of the Games, generating about $250,000. From the village of Brockport, Wanda Miller reporting for Channel 13 Eyewitness News. Main Street in Brockport. In 3 days, some 15,000 people will be arriving in this upstate village for the opening ceremonies. But neither the gas station managers nor the Special Olympics officials are worried about gasoline supplies.
Well, because we're early in the month, Wendy, and the gas allocations are available to our local dealers, we don't anticipate an immediate need. If some form of depletion takes place in that early part of the month, we would certainly, on behalf of Special Olympics and the college, do everything that we can to help out the local area gas station dealers find the best possible opportunity to replenish their resources.
Hover explains that most of the 3,500 athletes will arrive by plane or bus, and that 87% of the Special Olympics volunteers are from Monroe County, gassing up in their own towns. As for spectators, Hover suggests they carpool or take a bus. For those who must drive, Hover expects sufficient gas supplies. This is Wendy Hammerly for Eyewitness News. What makes the Special Olympics so special? Is it the athletes, the organizers, or is it the non-competitive spirit?
I've been working to like around 10 years.
Is it hard?
Really hard.
What goes on in your mind when we're jumping?
In my mind, I was thinking of my grandmother.
The Special Olympics is fighting a hard battle to communicate to a tough competitive society that winning isn't everything.
Hugger is a person who helps a child at the end of his race by giving him a big hug and a vote of confidence. Why is this done? To make sure the children have a good experience. We want them to know that they were successful even if they didn't come in first.
Some of these athletes will feel the pressure of the competition, especially as the event receives more and more publicity. But organizers of the Special Olympics are trying to make people remember that everyone is a winner.
It's just hard for us to communicate my body inside the jump. When you control a jump and to our muscles out.
Oh. And you've worked hard to do that?
Oh, yes.
You feel like you've accomplished it?
Yes, I do.
You proud of yourself?
I really am.
Ann Cowan reporting for Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
The site of the International Special Olympics, the Brockport campus. There are only 2 main routes into Brockport. Route 31 runs east and west, and Route 19 north and south. It takes a good half hour from Rochester, but with the large crowd that's expected, you better give yourself a little extra time.
So what you'll have to remember is there will be 3,500 competitors, 3,000 moms and dads, 1,000 chaperones, and between 15 to 20,000 spectators, all trying to squeeze their way into the Brockport campus all at once. Peter Smith says you better come early for parking.
This plan is based upon the fact that people will be parking on the campus first. When the lots on campus are filled, then we will go to the high school lots and then to a park and ride system off campus.
So you're telling people to come early?
There's so much to do and so much to see. Yes, I am encouraging people to come early in the day.
If you want a closer parking spot, homeowners surrounding the campus are willing to make arrangements. But you better check around. We found some pretty good deals.
Are you going to be charging for the Special Olympics here in the front yard?
No, not at all.
Why not?
Well, it's one in a lifetime type of thing, and any space we have available, we'd be happy to have people use our driveway.
You don't want to make a little money off it?
No.
I think I will. How much will you charge a car? I really hadn't even thought about it that seriously, that I have a price in mind. Will you keep the profits or will you give it to the Special Olympics? Oh, I never even thought of that. What do you think? I probably would have kept them.
The opening ceremonies on Thursday promise to be a spectacular sight as some very special children around the world join together to compete. It's a competition, but in this competition there's only the thrill of victory. No one experiences the agony of defeat, for everyone finishes a winner. This is Lauren Dixon for Eyewitness News.
Nearly 5,000 volunteer workers turned out for today's rehearsal of the Special Olympics opening ceremony. They came to hear last-minute instructions, and if they were lucky, meet Susan St. James, the former star of TV's McMillan and Wife, who canceled a movie contract to attend the games.
It was a film that Kate Jackson ended up doing. I can't remember the name of it. And then I'm going to go and do a film in September instead, because this is just one of the most important things I do. And it's only every 4 years, you know. You can't just say, well, I'll do it next year. You know, it's not that often, and I love doing it.
The nearly 5,000 men and women behind me are all volunteers participating in a dry run of the Olympic March. The real thing will take place Thursday evening, when the Special Olympiads themselves march into this stadium. Just as the Olympics themselves are special, so are the volunteers that help make it all possible.
I think it's going to be a great experience for all of us here in the Brockport area. I think it's going to be nice for our town, and I think we're going to benefit from this as much as the kids. Well, when we have special people, and I'm going to college to do special education.
Everything went perfectly at today's practice run, even the lighting of the Olympic torch. On Thursday, the Olympiads will go through it once again, when the games officially get underway. In Brockport, David Lee Miller, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
As one official put it, you can plan for 3 years, but you can't anticipate all the problems. Problems of assigning rooms, picking up delegates, keeping organized. Brockport State University has turned into an Olympic village. Delegates have been arriving throughout the day unpacking their bags. These three are from Iowa. They're taking their first trip ever with the Olympics.
What are you competing in?
220.
220 what? Run?
Uh-huh.
You're going to be running? What is, do you think you're going to win it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? You're fast, huh? What are you competing?
Swimming.
What are you going to be swimming?
25 freestyle and 25 backstroke.
Think you're going to win?
Yeah. They will be sharing a room with a chaperone, 4 to a room. Well, let's visit the athletes' dining hall. It's just around the corner on campus. How would you feed over 5,000 athletes from all over the world? The answer? You serve rice with every meal.
There are so many different nations here, and many countries here that require rice, and it's just a good, well-balanced meal.
You can sense the anticipation here, not only from the thousands of volunteers, but from the townspeople, too. Many have a vested interest in these Olympics.
There's a lot of hours been spent on this. We've been working for the last 2 weeks about 12 to 14 hours at least a day. We've been working on it for about 3 months with all the other businessmen, and we're hoping to turn a lot of money.
And here is where it all takes place in about 24 hours.
The neatly lined track, well groomed for the occasion, will be the trail for the Olympic torchbearers. The seats will be full. The athletes don't appear tense or nervous as they approach center stage. Many don't realize the magnitude of this event. As the president of Brockport stated, Special Olympians are now taking their place in this stream of human endeavor. Let each become all he is capable of being. Ann Kelly reporting for Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
Glad to be in Rochester? Yeah. Stand over here.
Parents, volunteers, and special guests gathered for the first ceremony, the donation of 2 massive sculptures to SUNY Brockport by the Soviet Union. The Soviet Deputy Minister of Culture made the donation with the help of an interpreter.
Encouragement and all-round support of the exchange of genuine cultural values with other countries is one of the fundamental principles of our foreign policy.
Sergeant Shriver spoke briefly, adding the Olympics help focus on the uniting of peoples instead of the separation.
I'd like to suggest that the Soviet Union chose this place and this occasion for the first gift to the American people because the Special Olympians and all the volunteers who work with them and their parents have exemplified those 4 qualities: courage, skill, sharing, and joy.
Sculptures were designed and created by Soviet artist Zurab Tsereteli. One is Prometheus standing on the tree of knowledge. The other represents the children of the world, as even the Olympians themselves have noticed.
I think it's a symbol of the Special Olympics.
Show the signs of the Special Olympics, huh? The artist, helped by some of the other guests and athletes, also planted a honey locust, designated as a tree of friendship.
The second event of the day also is star-studded dedication ceremony, this one to commemorate a brand new stamp being issued in honor of the 1979 Special Olympics.
Guest speaker Senator Ted Kennedy spoke of just what the stamp is meant to represent.
It is a stamp of hope. It is a stamp of joy. It is a stamp that symbolizes that Special Olympians, handicapped people, can make a special contribution to our communities, to our cities and towns, to our families, to our nation, and to peoples in other nations around the world.
Kennedy's sister Eunice Shriver, who founded the Special Olympics 11 years ago, was also at hand, as were several other well-known faces, actress Susan St. James, Art Buchwald, Marlo Thomas, and even a surprise visit by Muhammad Ali.
Many of us might think we have problems, might think that we have bad luck or whatever, we have debt, bills, or whatever, but if you look at these children, you couldn't have no worse a problem and still be determined on the goal and the purpose of life.
This is Wendy Hammerly for Eyewitness News from the Special Olympics in Brockport. Or the Olympians.
You're immediately impressed with the fact that so many special people from so many different lands have come together here to enjoy the experience of participating in the various games. And watching these special athletes perform is a joy.
But what really opened our eyes was the ability of a young man from Alabama in the high jump.
We were conducting the clinic for high jump, and Henry walked up and he said, "Is it all right if I high jump?" And the bar was set at 5 feet.
And so we said, you know, it's set at 5 feet, and he said, oh, okay, I'll jump that, right? And he hurdled it.
16-year-old Henry Ford Jr. of Alabama has been high jumping for 3 years. His best effort in the event had been an amazing 6 feet. Today, Henry tried 6 feet 1 inch. At first he failed, but he wouldn't give up until he'd achieved his goal. And with success came admiration and recognition.
How the heck did you get into high jumping anyway? Well, really, you know, like this dude named Green, he went to high school track and he asked me to come out. So I just went out and tried it. First I didn't like it, you know, because I couldn't really high jump that good. Just kept working at it and everything. It turned out okay.
Just as amazing as Henry is 16-year-old Steve Minot of Colorado. Despite needing crutches to get around, Steve has done the 220-meter event in 58 seconds. As for his ultimate goal,
I wanted to compete against the world. This is a big thing for me, and I've worked real hard for it. So I guess to compete against other countries and do well, just to build up my legs so in the next couple months to get on booth.
Henry Ford Jr. and Steve Minot, two special athletes whose spirit, determination, and courage represent what the Special Olympics are all about. Now back to you, Dick.
The stadium was packed. After 4 years of preparation, the 5th International Special Olympics were finally underway. From around the world, Olympians, volunteers, the press, and even spectators came to Brockport to see the games. Delegations from more than 30 countries marched onto the field, led by one major personality after another. But it was Muhammad Ali that stole the show, taking time to shake hands with just about anyone that came into his path. Even Senator Edward Kennedy took a couple of seconds to talk with the press.
From this type of experience that the children develop a sense of confidence in themselves and in their families and their communities, that people do care very much about them. I think it'll give them the sense of confidence to lead more productive and happier and more useful lives. And I think all of that is the spirit of the Special Olympics.
Later, the United States Air Force parachute team captured everyone, and I mean everyone's, attention. But it was Eunice Kennedy Shriver that best captured the mood of the Special Olympics during her opening comments.
Every parent is called on to make sacrifices in the name of love. But the parents of Special Olympians have done more. They have challenged the spirit of the times that says that only intellectual accomplishment can make the measure of a human life. I believe that is wrong, and so do your parents. You are proof.
With stars like Christopher Reeve, Phil Donahue, and Marlo Thomas, politicians like Ted Kennedy, and athletes like Muhammad Ali around, it's easy to forget why the stadium at Brockport University was packed in the first place. It wasn't for the VIPs, it was for the kids. Kids like Brockport's own Steve Carletto that lit the Olympic torch. For the next 3 days, these kids will be competing, not against each other, but against the problems of the retarded. David Lee Miller, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.
The feeling of accomplishment floods a child's face. That same feeling is reflected in the faces of the volunteers who work with the special athletes, in some cases just a day, in others months or even years.
Nice. Good with the arms. That's it, Nan.
Nan Harvey has been a gymnast for 5 years. Her coach and companion is volunteer Marcia Beauchamp.
Well, I started with her about 2.5 years ago, and I see that her coordination has picked up quite a bit, and she has improved in the actual tumbling events that we've been working on.
Really hard. I do good.
How many hours a day do you have to practice?
6 hours a day.
And for all those hours of stretching, sweating, and disciplining comes the satisfaction of achievement.
It's something they can find that certain amount of acceptance in, and success is very important. That's what I see it as, totally.
But without the help of volunteers such as Marcia, there would be no Special Olympics, and perhaps no chance of success for many special people. This is Wendy Hanley reporting for Eyewitness News from Brockport.
Thanks, Wendy. There are a lot of familiar-looking faces here at the Special Olympics, faces you've seen on television and in the movies. And all of those familiar faces came together for the Superstar competition. Tom Pippins has a report on that story.
Dick, not even celebrities can do anything about rain except run for cover, which is what we all did. Inside, I ran into Superman, Chris Reeve, who talked about the beauty of the Special Olympics.
It doesn't matter, you know, if you come in first or whether you're behind by 500 yards, it's the same thing, you know, everybody is. I've even seen one time, when I saw a kid was way ahead, and he felt bad about being that far ahead, and he stopped and waited for the guy to catch up, and they crossed the finish line together. That's Special Olympics.
The hard rain passed over long enough for the superstars such as Sally Struthers and Phyllis George to compete with some Special Olympians in the 400-meter relay.
Leading down the track, Phyllis George Brown is catching up. The second lap has gone. The rings have been passed. Very good. Very nice.
After the race, Struthers talked about her team's near victory.
Well, I was brave in the attempt, as they say. My first lap off, I was great, but my team slowed down, and we came in second, and I'm real upset.
And then it was off to the obstacle course, where talk show host Phil Donahue gave a superstar's performance. Later, Donahue and ABC Sports commentator Frank Gifford commented on the meaning of the Special Olympics.
It gives so many thousands of young men and women an opportunity to engage in a life experience that would otherwise not be theirs. We enjoy, all of us who do not have an anomaly or a handicap of any kind, enjoy sports, competitive events, and the winning and the losing and all of the melancholy and the joy that goes with it. And this is, I think, a wonderful opportunity to provide that same life experience for thousands of other people.
They no longer pop in front of a television set, as so many of them have for so many years. They're hidden in the closet, and I think really that is a tribute to Special Olympics that has grown since 1968 to what it is today. People are not going to have the fears of retaliation. They're not going to have the shame, really. And that's for so many years what it had to deal with. That's no longer true, as you can certainly see here.
But the real stars of this show are not the celebrities, but the Special Olympians. What's your name, sweetheart? Where are you from? And how old are you?
9.
Honey, what do the Special Olympics mean to you? That's just great, sweetheart. You have a great time, okay? Back to you, Dick.
For 2 days, we've met some inspiring special athletes from all over the world. Today's diving event gave us the chance to share a beautiful moment with one more special youngster and his proud father.
One of the Olympians is an outstanding young diver from Buffalo who hasn't let his physical disability get him down.
10 years ago, Mike Selinsky of Buffalo was born without a tailbone. He has neuromuscular disorders which have created kidney problems. Mike doesn't have calf muscles and his feet don't support him the way they should. But the determined youngster has made himself an Erie County and state medal winner in swimming and diving. but it hasn't been easy for Mike or his dad.
James, it's really heartbreaking. When you see some of the accomplishments and some of the things he can do, it really makes you feel great inside.
Today was the day Mike had been dreaming about. As he got set for his final dive, his father and his coach cheered him on.
Get a boy.
The end of the competition meant the awarding of medals, a very special moment for parent and Special Olympian. Mike waited and hoped, then came the announcement that he'd won his division.
How do you feel after that? Yeah? Was it the most exciting experience of your whole life?
Yeah.
Well, you've worked real hard for this, haven't you?
Yeah.
What was it like diving in front of all those people?
It was kind of scary.
Was it really?
I was a little nervous.
But you did real well, huh?
Yeah.
You think Daddy's proud of you?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. For me, I wouldn't trade him for the 10 healthiest kids in the world. Really. It's really something. It's extra special.
Tom Pippins, Channel 13, Eyewitness Sports.
The excitement began early this morning. 3,500 Special Olympiads waiting to be whisked away by nearly 100 buses. For most, it was the first trip ever to the falls.
We're excited to see what it looks like. Have you ever been there before? I've never been here before. This is my first time to be here.
Finally, it was time to go, and it wasn't long before each bus found its own form of amusement to travel by. When they pulled up to the falls, it was every man for himself, telling interested bystanders about recent accomplishments, meeting chaperones, and of course, taking in the falls. These past few days have been filled with many unforgettable happenings, but for these special people, the most memorable event of all has been making friends.
Larry.
You're going to be sad to leave them?
Yeah. Let me meet. I love them.
Love your friend?
Yeah. I love you.
They're your best friends in the world?
Yeah.
It was a time to run that last race. It was a time to say goodbye. Goodbye to the stars who took countless photographs and signed thousands of autographs. Goodbye to the volunteers, all of whom helped make the Special Olympics possible. And of course it was time to say goodbye to each other. The events are over. The Special Olympics will live on forever in the minds of these special athletes.
I will remember this for all my life.
Many of these Olympians have worked hard and long training for the Games, and like Bill, they are sorry to see the Olympics end. The retarded, however, are not the only ones to have benefited from the Games.
I think that all of us learn a great deal from the retarded, and it's an inspiration to see them come here from all over the world, and to see great athletes like Muhammad Ali, and great political leaders like Governor Kerry, Senator Moynihan, Senator Kennedy come here. I think that the retarded are showing us that the world is a lot bigger, more interesting, more diversified than we ever knew before.
As the Special Olympics torch burns in its final hours, the athletes prepare for the trip home, with stories of their victories in Brockport. At the Special Olympics, David Lee Miller, Channel 13, Eyewitness News. After burning continuously since Thursday evening's opening ceremony, the Olympic torch was finally extinguished, and the 5th International Olympic Games were declared officially over. In a special closing ceremony, representatives from all countries formed a ring of friendship in the center of the Olympic playing field. In the middle is a yellow container, a time capsule, that will be buried on the university campus and opened 100 years from now, just in time for the 30th International Special Olympic Competition. Inside the capsule, the athletes put just about everything, from jewelry to buttons depicting their home states. These Olympic Games, however, won't need a time capsule to be remembered.
Well, the Olympic torch officially was extinguished this evening. The spirit and the enthusiasm of these very special young people will continue to grow. And 4 years from now, once again, they'll take the field for the 6th International Special Olympics. In Brockport, David Lee Miller, Channel 13, Eyewitness News.